Hey everyone. So, this is important for anyone who cares about developing themselves. We all hold on to anger for sure. It got imprinted into us from a young age. There's no way you can't have anger within you. If you apply any sort of self honesty, it's in there. Now, some people who are watching this have done a lot of work on that. Other people maybe haven't even begun to unpack that. But where does anger actually come from? Right? If you want to address this, let's look at what is the root of it, which is blame. It's blaming something outside yourself. But as soon as you blame, or you could say be lame, as soon as you are lame, you literally you give away your power. And you now become a victim, and then the only thing you can do is get angry and express this frustration and the emotion. Because again, if you're blaming, what that's a clear indicator of is you're not taking responsibility over a situation. You're thinking that someone else, some other force, maybe it's God, maybe it's the government, maybe it's the politicians, the media, whatever. You're putting the blame on them. But you do that long enough, eventually that just leads in downhill to destruction. And you basically accept that you can't do anything. And then the next step in that progression is then anger. And do you want to live your life like that? I mean, you get one life. Why would you waste it with that? The only reason that you would waste your life in those emotions is because you don't know what to do to actually let go of that, which that's where self-forgiveness comes in, as well as the other tools that we talk about in Self-Perfected. So if you want to process through the anger, process through the blame, and work your way up to being neutral, and then you can actually build, that's exactly the kind of stuff that we're talking about here. Or if you like to be angry, I mean, there are times when we get addicted to these energies too. Like you literally get addicted to feeling angry, frustrated. And I even noticed within myself, so I've done a lot of work on looking at anger. Just because like when I was a kid, I remember my dad being angry a lot of the time and just not necessarily knowing how to express that in the best ways. And so I would pick that up. And I realized within myself, this is so profound, was that I thought on a very, very deep level, I discovered this after a ton of writing self-forgiveness specifically. I believed that I couldn't be effective if I wasn't angry. I thought on some deep level that if I'm angry, it allows me to like get enough adrenaline going and I can just get the task done that I need to do. Like let's say I have to install something at our house, right? So I'm like, I have this very distinct memory of we had to put on like window blinds, and I was getting very frustrated because it wasn't like lining up. I had to like get two poles to fit into each other, right? And it was like it wasn't working, and I noticed myself starting to react. It's like, oh, like just like work, right? I just wanted to work, and in that moment though, when the anger is boiling up. And anger, actually, the root of it, if you really get into it, it comes from constriction within. You start constricting and contracting. And it was like, I was using that to generate energy, to generate adrenaline, cortisol, all these hormones, to then think that if I just get angry enough, somehow it'll just fit together and work. It's like very dominant trying to control. And it's not effective at all. And that's also how you shave years off your life, like not in a good way. Is because you just get so worked up about stuff that does not need to be worked up about at all. So this is what the self-perfected and self-perfection is in the process. Is I saw the anger in that moment as a gift because thankfully I've been using TechnoTutor for a long time and I've been writing for a long time so I can process the information going on within me. I've developed self-awareness and now I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, this is not effective. Just got to check the time. I have to jump in a call in 1 minute. So it's like, this is not effective whatsoever. Breathe. Live the self-forgiveness in the moment, okay? Realize that angry isn't serving me. And then apply the correction. So it's like, okay, breathe. Realize, okay, what actually needs to be done? Okay, step 1, 2, 3, blah, blah, blah. Do that. And then by the end, so I'm like hanging out with Jess during this, I'm so much more pleasant of a person to be around when I'm not angry, right? But in that moment, I was expressing the anger. And at a deep level, I was blaming Jess. I was blaming the people who packaged the stuff and gave us kind of what I thought were poor directions, when in reality I was just rushing. I didn't want to read them. Or I was blaming myself. I was blaming just everything instead of taking responsibility. But in that moment, because I've done this process for so long, I was able to breathe and realize, okay, stop blaming other things. I can freaking do this. This isn't hard. Okay? Don't have to be angry. Anger isn't going to solve anything. And then I just walked myself back to then taking responsibility, and voila, we have these beautiful curtains hanging. I even accidentally grabbed them one time, and they fell, and I put them back up, and I didn't have to do it from a point of anger. So anyway, this is so freaking practical. If you really listen and apply what I'm sharing here, well, knowledge and anything that I share without you applying it is just useless. However, if you can take this for yourself and realize that if I'm ever angry, it's because I'm blaming something outside myself. Oh, what can I do? Breathe, let it go, take responsibility, and apply the correction. That's the secret sauce right there. So, keep an eye out. If you're friends with anyone else in Self-Perfected, we got a really good video challenge this week, which is this topic. People talking about different words and where it comes from, and what you can do about it. So, that's that. Have a great week, everyone. And next time you're angry, breathe. And then you have to do more than breathe, though. You have to apply the correction. Otherwise, guess what? That anger, it's going to get pent up. It's going to hurt. You're going to literally shave years off your life. And I don't want that for you. I don't think you want that for yourself. So let's apply the correction before it's too late.